All right, guys, no time like the present. It's late, though. It's after 11 o'clock. Quick scoreboard show for you to go through some of these scores. A lot of you people will be in the bed by now, hopefully, because it is 11:18 here on Friday, September the 12th. The show's brought to you, as always, by my good friends at Capital Ortho. Got the hat. By Soundcom, by Country Please and Sausage. Also by Malone Roofing Services and the Rogue in Jackson. Look, softest hoodie I've ever worn right here. Something called Cowboy Country Club. Luke gave me this week to try on, and softest hoodie I've ever had. I'll get into that though another show, just because, like I said, it's 11:20. But I do want to go through a few of these scores real quick, and like I said, for some of you who are in the bed or on the way to the bed, you can check this out in the morning, get a nice 10, 15-minute recap of what happened tonight, at least with the ranked teams. We'll go through the top 10, our little 10, and then the MAIS top 10 scoreboard and a few other scores. If you want to message the show, either through YouTube, Twitter X, or also through Facebook, they'll pop up right here on the screen. Let's see, where is it? No, it's this side, right up in this little area right here. If you have any top performers, I have one right out of the gate. Somebody sent me earlier tonight, Germany Hayden from Northwest Rankin. They come back to beat Wayne County by a couple of scores. And Germany had a huge night, a couple touchdowns, well over 200 yards rushing. But here, a few scores real quick, okay? Our top 10, Tupelo, 45-7 over Houston. Not surprised by that in the least. Number 2, Brandon, 14-9 over Clinton. Got to multitask here, check messages here as I go. I'm also losing my phone. Where's my phone? How am I supposed to do a show with my phone? Hold on. Usually when I lose the phone, there's a chance it's in the pocket. There it is. Don't tell Jennifer, she's already gone to bed for the night, so she's checked out. But not surprised by the Tupelo score, 45-7. Brandon and Clinton, that was at Brandon. Number 2, Brandon over Clinton, 14-9. Look, it's a win. Brandon won ugly last week, and I guess anytime you win, it's not really fair to say it's ugly, but you know what I mean. They're not firing on all cylinders. I think that's fair to say. But they gut out a win over a gutty Clinton team, 14-9. Look, survive and advance. And really, the truth is this: I told a texter earlier this week. All of these are non-region games. Coaches are trying to prepare their team. They're trying to get ready for region play. So even if you don't look great in these games, win or lose, you're just trying to get better and get ready for the real season when you get into those region games, or for the academies when you get into the district games. But Brandon gets a win over Clinton, 14-9. West Point, number 3, 27-20 over Noxubee County. Maybe a little closer than I thought that was going to be, just because West Point was so dominant last week. And, Noxubee County is a much smaller school by a couple classes, but still it's Noxubee County. But that's a good win. This is not a shocker, but this is a revealing game. Number 4, Madison Central goes down to Brookhaven tonight, 20-17. Brookhaven was not ranked. They will be ranked next week. Brookhaven has one of the more talented teams in the state, and the truth is, they probably should have been ranked before now. They will be in our rankings next week, as I've kind of committed myself to jumbling this thing up and starting over, because we missed on a few tonight. We'll get into that here in just a minute. But that's a big win for Brookhaven. So congrats to you guys down in B-Town. That's a big win over Madison. Grenada 28-0 over Callaway. We're going to find out from Grenada in a couple of weeks, but I know I'm giving them a lot of respect. They won the whole thing last year. And like I said, I'm giving them a lot of respect there at number 5. Picayune over Biloxi, 23-14, about like I thought that would go. Ocean Springs over Pascagoula. Ocean Springs checked in at number 7. That's a close game, just a touchdown score between the two at 21-14. But Pascagoula is very good. And like I said earlier, you're not sweating these early season losses. You're just trying to prepare your team for region play. And Lewis Sims has a squad at Pascagoula. Awesome guy, great coach. Lewis is. Ocean Springs has that thing rolling. That's the best program on the coast, period. And they pick up a hard fought win over Pascagoula, but those are two teams that could do something when we get to the playoffs. Starkville over Meridian, 44-6. Meridian's, had trouble this year. Another, it's an upset in our rankings, but I'm told that it's really not an upset. Columbia beats number 9 Pedal 32-7. It wasn't even close. And I've seen Columbia before people kind of jump on that. We had Pedal moved in there because look, Pedal, I really thought Pedal was going to win that ball game. I saw Columbia beat Hartfield at Hartfield, so I've seen these guys play. I know they're good. I just thought Pedal would also be right where Columbia was in terms of overall talent. But man, hand it to Chip Builder back. That's a huge win because I do think that Pedal team is better than last year. But 32-7 is convincing. That's a big time win. And then Oxford 63-20 over Lafayette. That's a rivalry game, and look, that's a resounding win for the Chargers, who checked into our poll this week at number 10. Saw Knox Kiffin score a touchdown. Don't know what his stats were for the game, but saw that on X. Our Little 10 scoreboard, these are teams that are, and look, that top 10, it's not MAIS included. It's only MHSA 5A, 6A, 7. 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A. The Little 10 is 1 through 3A and then all the academies. And I'm probably going to put out a top 25 tomorrow. I'll do that. Tomorrow I'll commit to that. A top 25 tomorrow. Jackson Academy over Greenville St. Joe, big 45-7. Number 2 MRA goes. They beat Collierville. That's a good win for MRA. MRA is right there with JA. Don't sleep on MRA. They have plenty of talent to win another state championship this year. So those two teams are running neck and neck. Noxubee County was number 3 in our Little 10. They lose to West Point. Choctaw County falls to Hernando, but that's a significantly larger school and a good program at Hernando. 31-28 your score there. And then Heidelberg 50-7 over Harrison Central. How about that? That's a 2A school, 50-7 over a much larger Harrison Central. Number 6 Park Lane 35-12 over Oak Forest. Clarksdale 30, number 7 Charleston 14. Number 8 East Webster 54-14 over Biggersville. East Webster's good. I would like to see those guys play sooner than later. Forest Hill picks up a win over Bay Springs. That's 22-20. And then Calhoun City 42-33 as I put my phone on silent here. A couple of other scores. This coming from just MAIS top 10. Some of these scores we've already given. JA was number 1. MRA number 2. Park Lane 3. Hartfield beats Pillow convincing 42-13. I saw Jackson Prep and Tri-County. This was a first ever matchup for these two teams. But even in a year where this is not one of Jackson Prep's strongest teams, you still have to respect those kids in that program and how they play. And they beat Tri-County pretty good, 45-6, and that's a good Tri-County football team. Copiah 30-8 over Raymond. It's about like I thought that was going to go. Mag Heights at number 8, 63-28 over St. Joe. That's Madison St. Joe. And then Lamar School, that's a nice win for the number 9 ranked. Lamar over Caledonia, 55-15. I mean, beat them big, 40 points. And Caledonia is a nice size public school. 55-15 is your final there. A couple of others here before we check out. Weston 34 over Franklin County, 34-19. Weston can make some noise in 2A, and no doubt about it. That was from Cody White. This comes from the Dude Effect. George Wilcox, sponsored by, come on, Dude Effect. Hey, what was the score of that Leak Academy game? Dude effect. Julius Black on Facebook, Lake Cormorant 42-14 over Columbus, a real sleeper team. Lake Cormorant, it's one of those teams when I'm doing previews before the season started. You go down the roster and returning starters, and you could see a lot of Division One talent on that football team. So yeah, Julius, not shocked that Lake Cormorant big over Columbus. New Albany 38-35 over Itawamba AHS. You know, Itawamba, a program that they lost a lot of seniors from last year, including their quarterback, linebacker, I think went to Ole Miss, had a knee injury last year. And look, they keep just cruising on along like nobody's business. Keith Jordan on Facebook, South Jones versus West Jones. Let me check that real quick and see if I can find that for you, okay? Bear with me here, see if I've got a South Jones, West Jones score. I do. South Jones went, wow, 38-35 over West Jones. That's big time. Wow, did not expect that. While I'm looking at this is from the Laurel Leader Call. Like to give some credit when it's due on their X account. Gulfport beats Laurel. That's tight though, 17-14. PCS over Pass Christian 35-21. Oak Grove rebounds tonight in a crosstown matchup with Hattiesburg, and they win big, 48-7. Still trying to figure Oak Grove out. When I saw them last week at Germantown, I'm trying to figure out who's good, period, okay? Let me tell you why here. Northwest Rankin beats Germantown opening week, right? Nothing wrong with that. Northwest Rankin, I think, has a pretty good football team. Germantown wears out Oak Grove last week. And Oak Grove looks like a team coming off the bus, like a team that can play. So then I'm not shocked to see them rebound tonight and beat Hattiesburg big. But the funny thing is, I drive over to Vicksburg tonight to see Warren Central, and they wore Germantown out early. Like it was 28-0 early in the second quarter. And I believe that did tighten up a good bit. See if I have that score here for you. Yeah, Warren Central ends up winning 52-41. It was 28-0 early, like I said, but Warren Central looked great. But that did tighten up a little more late. Northwest Rankin 24-14 over Wayne County. Raleigh big over Taylorsville 46-0. Raleigh could do something. They have a real shot. And then Silva Bay over Kemper Academy 54-0. But got my Facebook and my X comments in there. If you have any more scores, you can put them on the scoreboard here real quick. We're going to get out of here in just a couple of minutes. We are sitting at, let's see, how many minutes have we been going? About 13 minutes. Perfect. 15 minutes is perfect. You guys can turn this on in the morning and get whatever scores you want. I'm going to research here real quick just for a minute to see if I just stumble across a couple other scores that maybe I didn't get to. Those were all of your ranked ones tonight. I'm still trying to figure out who is good and who's not. And it's still early. Like we're in the third week of the football season. It's still very early. One thing is for sure, you can do this by classes. Tupelo is the class of the state. And obviously by 7A, Tupelo is legit, top to bottom. After that, in 7A, who knows? We'll see what happens. Then you go down to 6A. That Warren Central team I saw tonight can do something. And Grenada will have something to say about that. But Warren Central looked great tonight. And in particular, the young quarterback for Warren Central, Nash Morgan, it's the first time I've seen him play in person. Not a big kid, but really, really athletic. Fast twitch kid. I thought he looked very good. And then you go down the classes. 5A, you're still looking at West Point, but how about Brookhaven now? They pick up a win over Madison Central. Maybe they can do something. I've said that the whole first couple of weeks, but even leading up to this, when we put the preseason magazine out, Brookhaven top to bottom is loaded, especially defensively. There's Division I talent all over the place there. And then you go down below that, 2A, Heidelberg overwhelmingly is the favorite. 3A, we'll see, but Noxubee County, Choctaw County, still I think the teams to beat. And then 1A, I don't know. Then in the academies, we'll see. I think JA's number one, but MRA's right with them. That could be a pick 'em, could go either way. Hartfield, maybe a puncher's chance, but they're going to have to get better than how they've played early this year. And, they'll tell you that. And then you go down through those classes. That Tri County team I saw tonight, I think you'll have that team and Leak Academy in your final in the 3A. And then 2A and 8, man, I'm not so sure. But that's going to do it for tonight. How about that? Big day tomorrow of college football, so enjoy it. Do me a favor, if you have any scores I didn't get to you want me to have, or if you have top performers, send me those. And on Saturday mornings, we'll start putting out all the top performers. So if you get that stuff to me Friday night, Saturday morning, we'll put it all together and we'll push that out. But always appreciate you guys checking out the show and all of our sponsors, Soundcom, The Country Pleasing Sausage, Capital Ortho, Malone Roofing Services, and The Rogue. Always enjoy doing this with you guys. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We're also going to figure out how to cut this thing off here in just a minute, too. That's a problem. There we go. Have a good night.